Here's a thought for today. It's February 22nd, and if today is your birthday, you share your birthday with Baseball Hall of Fame manager Sparky Anderson. Sparky Anderson began his managerial career in 1970 with the Cincinnati Reds, and it started off with a bang. He won the National League pennant and got to the World Series. However, the Baltimore Orioles stood in the way of them winning the World Series that year. Not to worry, though. Sparky Anderson had a future Hall of Fame cast of players on the Big Red Machine, and they eventually won back-to-back World Series championships in 1975 and 1976. And when Sparky Anderson's managing stint with the Cincinnati Reds was finished, he next went on to another managerial stint almost twice as long as the Reds in 1979 with the Detroit Tigers. And in 1984, with another cast of future Hall of Famers on his team, they won the World Series in 1984, and Sparky Anderson became the first manager to win World Series championships in both leagues. And what's interesting, you think with a resume like that, Sparky Anderson was also a very humble manager. Did you know that Sparky Anderson never set foot in the Hall of Fame until he was inducted, because he felt that he wasn't worthy enough that he'd ever want to go into such a special place unless he belonged. And when Sparky Anderson had his induction speech, he really gave quite a bit of credit to his players for his success. And he explained to the crowd that there were two types of managers. He said, there's one manager, it ain't so smart. He gets bad players, he loses a lot of games, and then he gets fired. Then, he says to the crowd, there was someone like me who was kind of a genius. I got good players, they won a lot of games, and I got to stick around for 26 years. And I'll put a YouTube link in the notes to Sparky Anderson's Hall of Fame speech. If you have 15 minutes, it's a real treasure to watch. And when I think about Sparky Anderson, I look at my career at leading Polek and Polek, and I can relate quite a bit to Sparky Anderson. I've been fortunate enough to have a fantastic supporting cast of employees that, I've had the wisdom to stay out of the way and be able to ride their backs to success. And I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all of my employees, some of whom that I've worked side by side with for decades. And I want to thank you for helping Polek and Polek to become the success that it is today. I love you. And in 2021, many of our businesses, we've been at the point where we tore them down so that we could rebuild them up again. And when you're rebuilding, focus on the one important part is making sure that you've got a great supporting cast of employees around you, because that's what makes the difference. And if you already have that supporting cast in place, have the wisdom to know when to stay out of the way and let them carry you all the way to that point that you want to rebuild to. You do that, and you can experience success just like Sparky Anderson did. Now go make something happen.